Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a legal ruling that could literally rewrite the map of one of the world's oldest mountain ranges and, decide the fate of millions of people who depend on it.
A death warrant? I mean, that's not a phrase you just throw around, right? But it's exactly how environmental experts are describing a recent Indian Supreme Court ruling about the Aravalli Mountains. It's a really stark warning, and it has sent absolute shockwaves through the conservation community.
And in response, well, a digital roar has just erupted. The hashtag Save Aravalli is basically yanking this super complex issue out of the courtroom and forcing a national conversation about what the future of this vital landscape is going to be.
Okay, so what is at the heart of this whole conflict? It really all boils down to a new and very, very specific legal definition.
So, on November 20th, 2025, the Supreme Court adopted this government criterion that just fundamentally redefines the range. Now, for a piece of land be legally considered an Aravalli Hill, it has to stand at least 100 meters high from the ground around it.
And get this, it doesn't even stop there. To be classified as a protected range, these newly defined 100-meter hills also have to be all clustered together, specifically within 500 meters of each other.
So what this does is it creates two completely different pictures of the exact same landscape. You've got the ecological reality on one hand. The Aravallis is this one continuous, interconnected system. But on the other hand, you have this new legal definition that, well, it effectively breaks it all apart, seeing it as just a random collection of scattered tall peaks.
To really, truly understand why everyone is so alarmed, we need to appreciate what this ancient mountain range actually represents. It is so much more than just a line of hills on a map. For northern India, it's a shield. It's a lifesaver.
I mean, stretching for 700 kilometers, the Aravallis are often called the green lungs of northern India. Think of them as a massive natural wall holding back the sands of the Thar Desert. They're like a giant sponge recharging the groundwater that quenches the thirst of millions in cities like Delhi. And they're a sanctuary for wildlife like leopards and the source of major rivers. In literally every sense, they are a lifeline.
So what happens when you apply this really strict 100-meter rule to such a vital, living ecosystem?
90%. That is the chilling estimate from experts. Up to 90% of the entire Aravalli Range. We're talking countless lower-lying hills, vital forested ridges, plateaus, all of it could now lose its legal protection. Just poof, gone.
And the potential scale of this impact is just staggering. As you can see, the area legally recognizes the Aravallis, and therefore protected from things like mining and construction, could shrink dramatically.
This could set off a devastating domino effect. You see, declassifying these lands basically opens them up to more mining and construction. This breaks up critical wildlife corridors, it threatens already strained groundwater levels, and it weakens that natural shield protecting the Delhi-NCR region from all that suffocating desert dust. Now, this ruling obviously hasn't gone unnoticed. It's sparked a really powerful response from activists and communities whose actual survival is tied to this landscape. This quote from Harjit Singh really captures the core fear here. Conservationists are arguing there's this huge gap between the policy language, words like sustainable mining, and the destructive reality of dynamite and excavation on the ground.
And these warnings are just echoing from all corners. Rajendra Singh, he's celebrated as the waterman of India, and he's predicting this grim future, where as little as 7% of the range might even survive. Activists are raising the alarm for the tribal communities who've lived in harmony with this ecosystem for generations. And there are these grave concerns that expanding mining could just wipe out the region's agriculture and its wildlife sanctuaries.
Now, for its part, the Environment Ministry argues that this new definition isn't some green light for destruction. They say it's an attempt to create a clear, uniform standard across different states. The goal, they claim, is to prevent people from misusing vague boundaries. They've also put a temporary ban on any fresh mining leases until expert reports can be reviewed.
So ultimately, this whole debate forces us to confront a really fundamental question, one that goes way beyond the Aravalli Hills. How do we truly define the value of our natural world? Is it by a number on a spreadsheet or a line on a map? Or is it by the irreplaceable role it plays in sustaining life? The answer to that is going to shape not just the future of a mountain range, but the future of our relationship with the entire planet.